Hello, welcome to this week's children's sermon. I welcome you into my office where I have so many books you can hardly believe it. But stories are important, and stories tell us about life and about love and about God. And I want to share one of the books that's in my library here with you this week. It's a book called The Three Trees. Just have to set it up here for you. It's a book that's an old story, a story from that's been kind of now put together for us by Elena Pasquale and Sophia Wyndham. And it goes like this. Long ago on a hillside stood three trees. In the spring, their roots drank in the cool raindrops that trickled through the soil. In the summer, they unfolded their leaves to the sun. In the autumn, strong winds tousled their branches. In winter, they rested under the sparkling snow. Under the cold night sky that glittered with stars, they dreamed their dreams. Mine, said the first tree, is of riches. I want to be made into a beautiful chest that will hold the finest treasure. Mine, said the second, is of power. I want to be made into a proud ship in which a mighty king will travel around his domain. The third tree sighed in the breeze. I want to stay, it said quietly, here on the hillside, pointing to heaven. Many years went by and the trees grew tall and strong. One day, three woodcutters climbed the hill, each with an axe in his hand. I'm ready for riches, said the first tree as it fell. I bow to the king, said the second. But the third tree shed its fragile leaves like tears. Now my dream is over, it wept as it fell to the ground. Carpenter took the wood from the first tree and sawed it into planks and then joined them. It was a box he made and made it well, but it wasn't a chest. It was a sturdy trough. An innkeeper came and carted it away. Every evening he filled it with hay for the weary creatures that his guests brought to his stable. Such a humble life, sighed the tree. Such a poor and dismal place. One night the innkeeper led the animals aside and a man and woman took shelter in the stable. Gentle hands put fresh, clean straw in the trough. Then a newborn baby was laid upon it. Suddenly the first tree knew that it was holding the greatest treasure the world had ever known. A shipwright took the wood from the second tree. He sawed it and shaped it and smoothed it and sealed it. Fishermen came and trundled it away. Each evening they slid it into the violet blue water of the lake, sailed off into the night, and cast their nets. Later they hauled them aboard full of slithering fish. Such a weary life, said the tree, and among such ordinary people. One night storm winds blew and great waves crashed. Then a man stood up in the boat and spoke to the storm, "Peace, be still." At once there was a calm. And the second tree knew that it was carrying the mightiest king the world had ever known. The wood from the third tree was rough-hewn and left in a woodyard, almost forgotten. Then one day came a clamor of voices. Any wood will do, but fetch it quickly. Rough hands grasped the wood and hastily made a cross. Cruel hands forced a man onto it and nailed him there by his hands and feet. Soldiers hoisted the cross upright. There on a low, barren hilltop, the man died. The tree that became a cross was left empty. As the sun sank low, it felt despair deeper than it had ever known. Though the sun rose and set again, every hour felt like darkness. Then came a bright dawn. By a miracle, the man had died and was seen again alive. The tree that had borne his death was now a symbol of his life. And the third tree knew that it would stand forever, pointing to the heavens. This is an important story, a story that reminds us that Jesus includes all of us in God's kingdom, no matter how humble or small we might seem. The story the adults heard today was about Jesus and two others who were nailed to crosses on a hill. Both the other two with Jesus were thought to be thieves, and everybody thought they had no place anywhere. But one of them asked Jesus, just please remember me in your kingdom. And Jesus said, today you will be with me in paradise. It was Jesus' way of saying that that person who everyone else thought was left out was still a part of God's kingdom. These trees who thought that they were so humble and had lost everything, they were a part of God's kingdom. And we, no matter how bright or not so bright we seem some days, no matter how big or how small, no matter who we are, Jesus says to each of us, you have a place in my kingdom. That's why Jesus came, to bring us all into that kingdom. And there's room for all of us, no matter who we are. Know that you are God's precious child and that there's a place for you in God's kingdom. Have a great week and live as God's child in all you do. Take care.